Hi, Art Seekers. I'm Mark, and we're here at 212 Arts Day in the East Village, and we're interviewing Mike Mozart.
Well, it's great to be here. What a beautiful gallery. It's great to be here in the East Village. It's much nicer than I thought it was going to be. I was here in the 80s, so I know what it used to be like. But go ahead.
So Mike, tell me about your history with Alec Monopoly.
Alec Monopoly. I can't describe what happened with Alec Monopoly without going back into my own history of what led me to actually meet him. I was a famous person on YouTube. I was a YouTube celebrity before I met Alec Monopoly. And I was very popular. I was one of the top subscribed, one of the top viewed in the history of YouTube at the time. This is 2010, 2011. And at that time, YouTube allowed me to have live streaming. And only a few days into that, I heard about Occupy Wall Street. So I was there, and there was a very famous billionaire named Alki David. And he had this online streaming site called Film On. And here I am live streaming through my laptop on YouTube Live, and I had all these live viewers, and I didn't have any problems. And he had this Film On system. He was very interested in me coming out and advising him on his own system. I decided to bring a blue man's dress shirt. And on that dress shirt, I wanted to paint a design because I couldn't carry a protest sign around with a laptop and a microphone. So I thought I'd paint a shirt. And I put on the front side of it, Mr. Monopoly on the Wall Street Cross, just like this one. And I was there painting it at Film On. I was talking to the guys there, and I took a break, and I knew I'd have a couple hours while they were doing a production. So I started painting this cross on the front of the shirt. And this kid came by named Alec. At the time, I only knew him as Alec. He signed everything Alec in script. And he said, wow, that's really cool. Wow, I'm an artist here. I'm going to be doing this live art demonstration thing. And he said, I do Mr. Monopoly. I'm like, that's one of the things I do. And he showed me a couple of pictures he had, and it was Mr. Monopoly as a DJ and Mr. Monopoly on keyboard. And he said, I would love if you would draw that cross for me. Could you draw that for me so I could project it and trace it? So he admitted he needed it to project and trace. He needed the model of it. So I drew a nice, neat drawing, and I inked it for him. And a couple weeks later, he sent me a text message. I hadn't heard from him. And dude, I projected it and traced it in this alleyway. It's so beautiful. It became one of the symbols of Occupy Wall Street. Now, at that time, I went back to broadcasting Occupy Wall Street live. Well, Alec had noticed I was working on that shirt when he met me. And he said, it's beautiful. And I told him I was going to wear it while I'm broadcasting Occupy Wall Street. And he, at the time, was not a known artist. No one had heard of Alec Monopoly. No one had heard of Alec. He was really just Alec. So I said, you know what? I got this shirt all painted. Why don't you put some splatters or something on it, and you could sign it too? Because I'll be broadcasting live to 50,000 people, and people say, what's the shirt? Tell us about the shirt. And I can say, oh, I was a collaboration with this kid, Alec. And so he put a bunch of splatters of paint on it. He signed one cuff. I signed the other cuff. He signed one collar. I signed one collar. And I said, on the back of the shirt, write your name big, like across the top, like where a football player would. Do it in big block letters. And he did that. And I gave him the drawing. Now, he's all excited that he's got this new drawing. And we're stuck there for 3 days because he had to come back to do the shows. And he said, could you draw me more pictures of Mr. Monopoly? So I did quite a lot of drawings for him for nothing for years, a couple of years at that point at least, maybe 3 years. It wasn't until later that I found out that even though I was designing a substantial amount of his artwork, that he wasn't actually painting a lot of it. They actually had assistants that were doing it. So I started getting him to pay me just little bits of money here or there. And when I say little bits, if you took all the money I've ever earned from Alec Monopoly, it would not equal even a small commission, even a couple of years ago. Even when I stopped working with him. Not even one solitary painting for 5-6 years worth of hard work, making the designs that propelled him, that made him famous. Sort of created a monster with this artwork, an egotistical monster. That's something I will say very plainly. And that's well known if you've seen his Instagram. There's an awful lot of ego flying high there. So I stopped doing anything for Alec at that point. That's where I stopped. In 2014, I barely did anything after that point for a while because I got so disgusted with finding out how much he was actually making on the paintings. And I wasn't paid the amount that I was promised because my artwork was not worth it. And my artwork was what built his career. And it was the artwork that made him the iconic images like Mr. Monopoly on the cross and the Mr. Monopoly weightlifter he did and all the Mr. Monopoly DJs that I did that were so popular that he put into murals all over the world. You know, wall paintings by the dozen. I liked Alec a lot. I trusted Alec. I wanted to help him. And it makes me sad to think about what happened. I'm willing right now, if Alec Monopoly wants to, that we need to appear side by side anywhere in New York City. We'll get a wall, and you can draw something and I can draw something. We'll let the crowd tell us what to do with those characters, and we will both do the same image. And we'll see who wins this competition and who actually had that talent and who actually could draw and execute those pictures.
So Mike, tell me, what has life been like since you come out as a real ghost artist?
It has been the greatest experience of my life. I did not expect the outpouring of support from the artist community, from the art gallery community, from the collector community, and all the people that already bought Alec Monopoly originals. It's like the world embraced me. So I had to start painting again, and I realized I don't have a gallery. And out of the blue, I got a call from a New York City gallery, 212 Arts Gallery. We want you to get you onto our next show. This is important. This is great. You deserve this. I'm like, wow, I didn't expect that. I came down to the show with a huge outpouring of people in the dead of winter, a cold winter day. The gallery was packed. The sidewalks were packed. You know, people all came to meet me, have their photograph taken with me, get autographs from me. It's like, you're the real Alec Monopoly, you're the real deal. You know, and it felt so good to be recognized because I did so much artwork, over 1,400 drawings, and I felt like I had done it all for nothing. I didn't make any money out of it to amount to anything. I didn't get any prestige out of it, and even get thank you out of it. And now here's this outpouring of people thanking me and praising me, making me feel good about it.